Hey, how y'all doing out there? This is Dave Berkey. Um, Welcome to my first podcast of Hemp Happenings. We are sponsored by iHemp USA. This podcast in general will focus on education of industrial hemp, as well as, and maybe more importantly, I'll interview people in the hemp industry. Here, I would like to help focus on their stories. I would like to know their why they got into the hemp industry, what drives them, and what they hope to achieve. I want to discover any innovations that are coming about. Hopefully, each episode will last about half an hour ish. Um, Today, in this inaugural podcast slash webcast, I'd like to introduce myself and tell you my history as well as give you some hemp education. Hopefully next time we will have a guest on here. I'm going to try and do this every 2 weeks or a month, depending on scheduling. Um, Hopefully, the more the merrier. Um, so about me, I've been in the hemp industry for about 5, 6 years now. I learned about hemp when I was living in Colorado. I don't exactly remember how I heard about it, but when I found out you can make more than 50,000 products with hemp, I was hooked. Everything from health products like CBD, creams, and stuff like that, um, clothing, biofuel, building products, paper, plastics, foods, capacitors, other electronics, and everything in between. One thing that's really exciting to me is hemp graphene that's coming online. With this, they can make better, cheaper electronics, batteries, and there's some companies even working on making hemp solar cells. That's amazing to me. Um, I'm excited about the solar because I'm actually an electrician, and solar is my background. I've been doing solar for a good 20 years ish. So yeah. Um, so when I heard of the electrical components they can make with hemp graphene and the solar panels that they're discovering, I was amazed by that. But what interests me most about hemp at this juncture right here is the clothing and the building materials. Being in the construction trades, I wore out a lot of clothes, a lot of Carhartts and stuff like that, have holes in them. So do other tradesmen. And we need more durable um, Carhartt style clothing for the building trades and other trades as well that are like that. Oil fields and stuff are just hard on clothing, and we need to be more durable than cotton. I could wear out a pair of pants in about a month. They'd be totally holes all over the place and messed up. Not a lot of kneeling. Um, so hemp that comes out is much better on the environment than cotton. It's more durable than cotton. It lasts a lot longer than cotton. When you grow hemp, it uses a lot less water than cotton. No pesticides, no fertilizer, stuff like that. Cotton uses a lot of fertilizer and a lot of pest control on cotton as well. So just in that aspect, cotton's a lot worse than hemp. Um, the more you wash hemp material, the softer it gets, the more pliable, but it retains its strength. It sheds less, so there's less lint in your dryer that you're throwing away. Also, being in the building trades, I see how homes and buildings are built. Um, they're made very quickly, very cheaply, with unsustainable, soft woods like pine. Um, Very unsustainable. Problem with the current buildings method is one, like I said, they're not sustainable. And number two, the products are not good for the environment. The paint, wallboard, insulation, they off gas. They emit gas over their lifetime, especially in the Mid East. I was talking to people in the Mid East, and their pollution is bad just because of how they build their buildings out of cheap concrete. It off gas is so bad it gives them smog. Um, and then, enter hemp. Hemp building material is sustainable. Um, Growing hemp takes about 3 to 4 months, and it takes a lot of CO2 out from the air, a lot more than trees do. And it takes a long time, at least 10 years, for a tree to grow. Hemp, as I said, grows 3 to 4 months. Hemp insulation is renewable, environmentally friendly. It doesn't, scratch or anything like fiberglass does. Doesn't irritate the skin. Takes much less water and energy to produce than cotton insulation. And then there's no chemical off-gassing like foam insulation. And the fiberglass insulation, well, that's just a bad idea all around. I won't even get into that. Um, and then there's other building materials you can use as well. There's hempcrete. So you in the hemp industry probably know what hempcrete is, but for those who are not, hempcrete is a green, renewable, sustainable way of building. Hempcrete is a building material that's biocomposite made of the inner woody core. We call it hurd of the hemp plant, and it mixed with a lime-based binder and water. And when it's cured, it's as hard as rock and it's still porous. A lot of um, advantages to hempcrete. It's non-toxic. There's no off-gassing, like I said. No solvents used. Mold resistant, high vapor permeability. That means it sucks in water vapor, and when it's dry out, it lets it out, and it keeps the moisture in the home, pretty even. Um, Humidity control, like I said, is durable, sustainable. Carbon sequestration. When you grow the hemp, it sequesters carbon, so it's a carbon neutral, or carbon negative, I should say. It's fire resistant, pest resistant, and passive self-regulation of temperature and humidity. So your hempcrete building will stay basically a constant temperature all year round, and is a great insulator. And that helps in the regulation of the the temperature. The problem with the hempcrete is it's not load bearing. You have to use some kind of frame to support it. And I'm working on a load bearing hempcrete block I call hemp block, and that'll be its own podcast at a later date. So those are the things that intrigue me about hemp at this juncture. I was selling CBD and other stuff for a while in Texas. I mean, not Texas, Colorado. And the problem with CBD is that market is saturated. There's so many CBD companies. Now they're getting into Delta 8, Delta 9, CBD, CBG, CBA, all these other stuff. I can't even keep up with it. But it's completely saturated. There's a ton of companies out there doing it. So, just let them do their thing. I want to get into something that is new, something that is, doesn't have a whole lot of competition in it. And that is, hemp clothing and hemp building. Another problem with hemp right now, the hemp clothing and the hemp building materials, is where you're getting it from. Most of the stuff right at this moment you have to get from overseas. A lot of it from China, a lot of it from Europe, France, stuff like that, Belgium. And a lot of the clothing comes from the Mideast or the China, Nepal, stuff like that. India, a lot of clothing from those areas. So yeah, so right now that's the problem. We have a bottleneck. We have a lot of growers out there. We always need more growers there. But where bottlenecks is the hemp processing. And I would like to also get into hemp processing, or at least work with a company that does hemp processing. But I think once we get that bottleneck out of the way and get the hemp processed, then that'll open the floodgates to a lot of other companies opening up, and they can, make anything from, hemp clothing to hemp plastics to, the graphene electronics, um, hemp building materials here in the United States. And a lot of new companies means a lot of new, workers doing that, which means a lot of money in the hemp industry, and it'll help the economy. You go into these little areas, small towns and stuff, and get some hemp growers out there and get a small processing center out there, and then you can build up the economy. You can have the people process, and other people come in and either buy it, and or they'll start, other companies around that area making goods, out of it. So there's a lot you can do with hemp and hemp processing. Um, like I said, hemp clothing is a lot more durable than cotton. Hemp takes a lot less fertilizer, water, stuff like that to grow it. You can grow hemp practically anywhere, depending on the type of hemp and what you're growing it for. Um, I don't know too much about hemp farming. I was thinking about maybe helping get into that, but I don't know if I will do that or not. But yeah, that's about it for now. Um, I don't know anything else to say in this inaugural. Hopefully, the next session, this is only going to be like 15 minutes, I guess, half of the time that I'm thinking. But next next session, I'm hoping to have an interview with my friend named William. Um, he's been in the hemp industry for, I don't know, about a year or so, and we'll see him, interview him and see, how he got started, why he's in the industry, and what he hopes to get out of it. Yeah, so that should be a good one. I should hopefully post every 2 weeks. If I can't get every 2 weeks, it'll at least be monthly. Um, I have also in the, I don't know if you can see the shirt, the National Industrial Hemp Coalition. I am a chair for Mid Texas in there. So yeah, come check us out on Facebook or the or the website. All right, that's all for me for today. And if you like it, send me an email, dave@ihempusa.com, and let me know what kind of topics you want me to present on here, what kind of education, what kind of, who you would like me to try and interview. I have a lot of people that would like to be interviewed, and I have lined up. So it's just about, getting it done and knowing what you guys think. So yeah, I'll probably put this on Facebook. I don't know if I will put it on YouTube. I'll probably put it on YouTube. And yeah, that's all for now. Goodbye.